Hi everyone, Brian from Bearable Traders. Sunday, January 5th. Let's get right into it. Hope everyone's had a good weekend. And as everybody knows, we had that event in the Middle East on Thursday night. So Friday the markets gapped down and they all popped back up at the open. We had some initial nervous Nellies selling some stocks, but then the buyers stepped in and we did manage to get back some of the losses right at the open, but neither index finished up on the day. Everyone finished in the red. And it looks like that's the way we're going to open on Monday here. Again, futures are down, although they're well off their lows. But, we've still got well over 12 hours before the market opens, so we'll see what happens. And let's take a look at what performed during the week. It's been performing. Industrial goods seem to be coming on here. And we'll take a look at industrial goods, maybe with the one of the ETFs, possibly as a good trade going into the new year. Technology on the month still doing well, but on the week we look like industrial goods. Some of the conglomerates, consumer goods, look like certainly on a weekly performance basis they were best. Utilities, safety trade, obviously on Friday. Let's take a look at the indexes. You can see here the transports on Friday actually managed to, it looked like, well, it didn't eke out a gain, but it came back well off its lows and still finished above what I would call, dipped down below some support, but then came back up. So again, this market's still getting bought on weakness. And you have to remember the Fed's still in there buying the short-term securities. They're still pumping money into the system. So interest rates are low and it's still going to be the, buy the dip, don't fight the Fed scenario. So again, here we had a pretty strong rejection from 2 on the 10-year yield. Again, selling back off again. We may end up just dropping in this 175 to 195 range here with the 10-year. Some people are saying the 10-year is going to go lower. Not sure about that. Here's the weekly. We're still looks like we're holding that trend line. If it breaks down a little lower, we may be coming back down to 170 here. TLT or TBT, either one, depending on which direction you think interest rates are going, are the good way to play that. And let's see, let's take a look on the week. It's pretty much an indecision candle on the week. We are struggling here we've, obviously broken out, and now we're struggling to make new highs. And I think with some of the tension in the Middle East, we may, maybe some people are going to be, new buyers are going to be reluctant maybe to step in on this, into this market until maybe some of the stuff, some of the issues maybe settle down a bit. Can see here we had again we've had 2 rejection weeks on the small caps, although we were well off the low of the week here on IWM small caps, but again the Qs came back on Friday. Again, same story as the Dow, kind of an indecision candle for the week. Volume still RSI is well overbought. So may still be looking at a pullback here. Let's look at the weekly on the SPY. Same comment. Volume down, but again, we had a short trading week and probably a lot of traders still off on vacation. So I can't really read much into volume right now. Again, a little bit of the safety trade, I think, coming back, people buying up the dollar. The dollar was getting quite weak. But you can see the dollar here trades very technically, obviously held the 200 moving average and came back up again. But, Hall-filled candle here, gapped up higher, dropped and filled lower on the day. So we'll see where the dollar goes. It may continue to be strong if we have, if we have continuing tension in the Middle East. And you can see here again, Hall-filled candle on the VIX. It was popped up quite a bit, but then came back as the market sort of came back as well. So Let's take a look quickly at what I've got on actives right now. CYCN, it's doing a bit of a pullback here. If it falls down much down below this 240 level, I'm going to have to bail on that one. Not much of a loss. I did get out of MO. I might be looking to re-enter it again around 49 because there's some pretty significant level of support here, way back here, 49. So it looked like it almost pulled back to 49 here. I'm going to set an alert on MO for 49 to see if maybe I can get back into the trade. And then I'd probably use sort of 48, this moving average, as a stop out price, which makes sense for somewhere where it kind of broke out here as well. OPGN, still hanging on to that one. Bought in here, sold when we popped up to over 150, pulled back again, and now I'm back in it again, and just hoping for another pop here. It looks like RSI is maybe, it's not really doing much of anything, but MACD, hopefully we're going to get a cross here and then continue higher. Unfortunately, obviously, the market's a little on edge. We may not get a lot of buying here. THMO I'm not in. Don't know why I haven't got APDN in here. This is another stock I entered. Just going to add that. Hang on. All right, well, you can see here why I got into it. Here's sort of a triple bottom, 1, 2, 3. And then we had this nice curl up here. And then a bit of a, I'm going to say it's a bit of a cup and handle. So we had this cup here, a bit of a handle here. We seem to be holding this moving average. And we actually finished up on the day, I believe, up 3 cents. So got up to 450. It was a drag because, you know, yeah. So as you can see, this one can really move on news. It's very small float, so I'm just hoping we can pop maybe back up to 5 or even get to 550 would be nice. 540 in that range here would be a nice pop for me on that trade. All right, let's take a look quickly. What are you going to watch here? I'm looking at BBio. It's really sold off hard, and sold off hard. Volume picked up again on the day on Friday, but maybe it's going to hold this sort of 31 level. So I'm going to be setting a alert for BBio around maybe around 32. See if I can pick some up and then use 3070 and under 32 if I can use 3070 roughly as a stop. See if we get there. Clovis, not looking. I actually don't really like that. CRWD, this frustrates me because it looked like it was going to break out here. I believe it was on this day. Took it long because it closed really nicely into the market end, and then gapped up and then just sold off on the following day. But it's making you know, a series of higher lows here. It did end up on the day on a bad day on the Dow, and just couldn't hold through this 50 moving average. But I'm going to be keeping an eye on that one on Monday to see if we can get a continuation move on crowd. It does seem to have a lot of selling pressure. You know, it tries to pop up and then it pulls back. People step in and sell it. But this was a huge volume day. You can see the large volume that came in on this on the Friday. Gold has been, obviously Friday was a big day for gold. Big pop up here, and gold futures are up again in the markets right now. I think they're up about $25. So we're going to get a big move on gold. We'll get to Nugget in a minute because Nugget actually sold off, which is kind of weird. Usually Nuggets, which is the gold miners, are levered to the gold price, so they pretty much move in tandem usually. LK, you know, had a big run. I think there's just some profit taking here. Maybe a pullback to this 36 level, and it might bounce off the 9 moving average. So we'll be keeping an eye on LK. Just watching the marijuana stocks here. They look like they're kind of holding. This is an ETF for alternative harvest. You can see here, like I said, gold gap up and nugget sold off. That's kind of weird. So we'll be keeping an eye on nugget. I think it's gonna gap up again, but it may sell off again. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well, on a nugget. Roku had a, it didn't really, at the end of the day, it really didn't do much. Finished pretty close to the previous day close, closed 37.10, closed here 37.50. So, eked out a gain on a bad day. So I think Roku goes higher, but unfortunately, I think it's going to be volatile. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But could get back up to 146, 145. The semis just didn't have a great day on Friday. TNA, again, this was a stock that gapped down but came right back up. This is a way to play the small caps. So the small caps actually, even though they were well down on the day, you can see here we had a hollow fill candle and on Thursday, and then really gapped down on Friday but came right back up. So was a little overbought here. Now it's getting back into the reasonable zone, and again, big day on Thursday. Not a lot of volume selling on Friday, but MACD crossed here, so maybe we've put in a double top. UNG, price of natural gas just getting slaughtered. I wouldn't go chasing it down here, but I also wouldn't be buying it. Again, something to consider on Monday might be the energy trade. I noticed a lot of the energy stocks seem to be up. This is XLE, so again, kind of a weird day. We had price of oil up and energy stocks sold off, gapped up, sold off, just like Nugget. But some of the ones that are kind of interesting, ConocoPhillips, but again, same bad price action. Another one that looking at XOM, again, energy stocks, just the big names just didn't perform well on Friday, even though price of oil was up. Just a little bit weird. So we'll have to keep an eye on how those perform in relation to oil, price of oil. All right, everybody. Well, that's it. This is my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade. If you haven't checked it out already, it's on Amazon, as I said. And our pre-market show for Bear Bull traders will start in the morning at 8:30 Eastern Time. Carlos and Norm usually come on, go through the stocks in play, and we'll see what happens, what comes up on the gappers in the morning, and then we'll see where the futures are and where stocks look like they're going from there. So enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody, and we'll see you in the Bear Bull trading room in the morning if you're going to join us there. Bye for now.